Hello and welcome back. You're still watching us here on Nile Cruise, and we are at this very unique and outstanding museum, Amenhotep Museum in Saqqara. And we're very much delighted to have joining us here Dr. Ibraim Ghareb, who's an inspector of archaeology, and going to talk to us more about this special place and the tombs of Saqqara, the new discoveries that are rewriting ancient Egypt's history. Thank you very much for joining us on Nile Cruise.
Hello.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghareb, for hosting us. And, sir, let me ask you first of all, of course, we know that we are in the area where the oldest stone structure or stone building in the world is. That's the Djoser pyramid. We are in the area that used to be the necropolis for the ancient Egyptian capital, Memphis. I mean, Saqqara is the place where history speaks to you in every inch of it. We want to know from you, the inspector of archaeology, if you were asked to tell us what is the most special thing about Saqqara, what would you say?
Let me first welcome you all, welcome a Nile TV screen, the screen which means a lot to us, I mean my generation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saqqara, as you told me now, is the necropolis of the capital of Egypt, Memphis. Saqqara contains a lot of tombs during the ages from the Old Kingdom till the Ptolemaic and Roman period. And we have also a ministry of Jermia, the Amba Jermia. So we have the history, we have the civilization from the Old Kingdom till the Christian period. So Saqqara is a special place. So it's a heritage area according to the UNESCO.
Doctor, there are always new discoveries that take place here in Egypt, and the whole world is always very excited to know what these discoveries are so that they can add them to their visit list when they come to Egypt. If we're going to talk about the new discoveries here in Saqqara, what can you tell us?
Every day you can discover a tomb in Saqqara. Saqqara have a lot of secrets hiding underground. So the most important the latest discover was a manufacturing workshop. I think it contains a lot of coffins, wonderful coffins, and there was a Miho tomb and Wahdi tomb. It contains also a wonderful murals, a wonderful painting, a wonderful artifacts.
Now, do you believe that there is still a lot to be discovered in Saqqara?
Yes, there's a lot and more tombs didn't discover yet.
Usually when people visit Egypt or Cairo in specific, they very much know the pyramids and the Sphinx. Do you have here flux of tourists that would come to Saqqara equally relevant to the amount of tourists that go there?
Yes, I think Saqqara is more important than any other place. I think it's the second place after Luxor. We have in Saqqara royal tombs, not have a lot of murals, a lot of paintings, a lot of wonderful paintings. I think when they open the new discoveries, it will have a lot of visitors and a lot of tours.
Yes, so Dr. Ghareb, what is the difference from a point of view of an inspector of archaeology between the Great Pyramids, the pyramids of Giza, and Djoser, the pyramid of Djoser?
The pyramids of Djoser is the first structure, the first complete structure. It contains 6 steps. You know, the first tomb was what we called mastaba. It contains 6 of mastaba, and the pyramid of Giza consider the perfection shape of the pyramid. This is the first. It was, I think, the 3rd dynasty, and the first complete mastaba. But Giza pyramid, or the Great Pyramid, consider the perfection shape of the pyramid.
Since you're talking more historically, I want to ask you about where was the Saqqara wooden bird discovered? Because they do say that the bird was an ancient plane. Tell us more about the story behind this.
Yes, the Saqqara bird is artifact. We can see it now in the Cairo Museum. We found it, I think, in 1898 in the tomb of, I think, in the north of Saqqara. But a lot of archaeologists think that is the first design of a plane. But I think it's of a plane. But I think it's just a toy, not a design of a plane.
So this is a myth, more or less?
Yes, it's a myth.
Okay. Now, Dr. Ghareb, why is the Zoser pyramid called the step tomb? Can you explain it? Why is the Zoser pyramid called the step tomb?
Pyramid. Yeah. Because it contains steps. It contains 6 steps of mastaba.
What do these 6 steps represent? Why 6? I mean, I know that usually everything that happened back then had significance and a symbol that we might not be aware of. Yeah. Does the number 6 represent anything?
No, I don't think it's represent for a special thing. No.
Okay.
Okay. So Dr. Ghareb, in your view, how can we best invest the new discoveries that we have made and make you know, a propaganda for the upcoming awaited discoveries again in the Saqqara area?
I think we do this propaganda, and we can invest this put cheating on these discoveries, but in the multimedia and the social media. I think we do this, and we can invite the international channels to make the spot on these discoveries.
Doctor, how do you, in your perspective, think the state should deal with the archaeological areas or sites here in Egypt? In terms of whether making it more easy access for the tourists, maybe be able to, because you mentioned the media, for instance, and then regulating or ensuring that the media would be there when there are discoveries or when the place is full of tourists, because we do know the pandemic had caused a change. So in this regard, how do you, in your perspective, how should the state deal more with these archaeological areas?
I expect that we will open these tombs for the visitors soon, and I think the tomb of Miho is opening now for the visitors, and I think it will be opening soon for all the visitors.
Now, perhaps taking you to another issue, but something that's very important, the issue of, you know, the looted treasures and retrieving back those treasures and those precious artifacts has been a key issue.
Which some are portrayed in large museums around the world.
Yeah. So how do you assess, Dr. Ghareb, the ministry's efforts in the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities,
Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities have a department for retrieving and
the looted treasures or retrieving
we have a department for this issue. It's working now. Yes.
Are we moving in a good pace? I mean, do you think that we are we could move faster, or we are already doing
this effort?
Okay.
Doctor, during the past couple of years, we have seen that the Ministry of Tourism, in cooperation with other ministries, are exerting utmost effort to brand Egypt in a different way, and that was reflected positively, because we've seen in international media and newspapers Egypt being ranked as the second top best destinations to visit as far as 2020 was concerned, at least. What do you think should be done, and what further cooperation should take place between the Ministry of Antiquities and Tourism and other ministries to be able to encourage more tourism to Egypt?
We have already cooperation with another of ministries, like the policemen cooperation with us to save the areas, and we have a cooperation with educational educational ministry. We,
You mean you're encouraging now on your working on encouraging
Yes.
schools to have field
Yes.
trips for students
Yes.
to get to know more about
yes, we have
archaeology in
we
Egypt?
have we making training for the students.
And surely there's cooperation with the Ministry of Health, of course, in light of
Yep.
what's happening in the, with the coronavirus pandemic. Now, Dr. Ibrahim, are we getting back to normal, or are we still trying to get back to normal? I'm talking about the flow of tourists to Egypt in light of the situation regarding corona.
I think the life will come back like before Corona. I think.
Do you think it's going to be soon, or do you think it's going to
No, I
take
think
more time?
it will be soon. It will be soon.
Doctor, tourism is a very big sector here in Egypt, and almost every household is directly or indirectly affected with this industry. And we've seen a lot of successful stories in countries where they tackle tourism from an extraordinary perspective. We do know that Egypt has a lot of monuments, and ancient Egypt is very famous here in Egypt, but we do know that there are new destinations that are being added that are not very archaeological but are very interesting. In a country that's very large, going all the way from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea, what do you think should be done in terms of plans for the tourists and the scheduling to attract not only different countries but also different age segments?
So I think Egypt gives a lot of efforts in this section. The state support us as a Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, and make a lot of support for the archaeological sites, not only Saqqara, but I think the all archaeological sites in Egypt.
All right, Dr. Ibrahim Ghareb, Inspector of Archaeology. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much for being with us here.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be with you today.
Thank you.
The pleasure is ours.
And we're
Dr.
still
Ghareb.
on here on Nile Cruise from the Museum of Amenhotep, and there's still so much we want to tell you and share with you about this beautiful place. So maybe you could add it to your list of visit in the near holiday that you can. We'll be right back.